game of the year is the first game I want to talk about on the docket tonight, where you have the 14-2 Sam Darnold led Minnesota Vikings skull traveling to Detroit, the 3-1-3. What up, though? Lions that don't know a fourth down and whatever that they are not afraid to go for. The Lions are hurt. We know, we've been talking about it for several weeks. They have an insurmountable amount of injuries on defense. They can't stop anyone, just like the Cincinnati defense can't stop anyone. But yet and still, the Lions continue to find a way to win. Everything is on the line. The division is on the line. The number one seed is on the line. All roads to New Orleans go through my building is on the line. Bragging rights are on the line. Man, what are you looking for in the Sunday night finale? This is the last game of the regular season. It's on Sunday night, prime time, the only game on at that time. So every single NFL set of eyeballs will be watching this game. What are you looking for the Minnesota defense to do to stop the Detroit Lions offense?
Hey, man, what I'm looking for is their ability to be able to get to Jared Goff. We talking about two of the both of these teams like in the top 5 in the highest scoring offenses in the league. They both can put up points. The last time they both met, hell, the score was like 44 to 38 or something like that. I mean, it was won by Detroit with a Jared Goff driving the ball down the field and kicking the field goal. But it was a great game. So as much as and as good as Minnesota defense has been all year, you know, these teams, they know each other, they play each other. So, you know, Detroit they know Minnesota tendencies. So Minnesota has to be able to get to Jared Goff. And I ain't say gonna be able to stop Jahmyr Gibbs, but slow Jahmyr Gibbs down. If they can do that and probably take Williams out of the game, because you already know Saint Brown is gonna get his thing. It could be a pretty close game. That's what I'm looking for from Minnesota.
Yeah, no, it's definitely going to be a very close game. You're absolutely right about that. It's going to be a back and forth game. It's going to be a game where both teams will be able to put at least 28 points on the board. I know that we see a lot of commentary in the chat, supporting the Minnesota Vikings because we are Minnesota Vikings fans. And, of course, JJ is going to get his. Sam Darnold is going to be able to have offensive success. Since you took the approach of the defense trying to stop Jared Goff and the Detroit offense, I'm going to look at it from the other side of the pillow, as the late great Stuart Scott used to say, where Sam Darnold is going to solidify in the next 3 weeks that he will be the 2025 starter for the Minnesota Vikings. And here's how he is going to do it on offense and possibly steal the number 1 overall seed from the Detroit Lions, who have been the front runner the entire season. Sam Darnold is going to utilize both the mid-range game and the deep threat game that Justin Jefferson possesses, because Justin Jefferson is that receiver that can go across the middle. Justin Jefferson is that receiver that can take the top off of the defense and do a go route. And Justin Jefferson is the very same type of receiver that can take a 2-yard dig route and turn it into a 90-yard hit my head on the goalpost touchdown. But that is not the only weapon that Sam Darnold has available to him. Even in week 18, Griff, I cannot lie to you. I do not know the offensive identity of the Minnesota Vikings, but this young head coach has done such a phenomenal job to where you cannot key in on just one thing. Of course, you're going to key in on one of the top 2 receivers in the National Football League and attempt to limit him and the success that he has. But as a defense, what approach can Dan Campbell take to stop what Minnesota is able to do on offense? I don't know, because Minnesota's offensive philosophy is all over the place, where they don't hang their hat on any one thing. That is how good and incognito the approach that they have taken this season. And quiet is kept. Sam Darnold, if his name wasn't Sam Darnold, would be a legitimate MVP candidate. a 14-2 team with the numbers that he has. Had this been Josh Allen with a 14-2 team, Lamar Jackson with a 14-2 team, Joe Burrow, this wouldn't even be a discussion.
They even still talking Joe Burrow as actually, believe it or not, Joe Burrow is still an MVP conversation. So
he is, but Sam Darnold should be there, and I'm not advocating for Sam Darnold. But how do the Vikings win this game? This is how I say that they win this game. The Flores defense is going to do what you said they need to do, which is to apply pressure to Jared Goff. And the Detroit Lions are attempting to go undefeated in their division this year. But the Detroit Lions have lost 2 games this year, and both of those games have come at home in the 3-1-3. So they don't have home field advantage, in my opinion, as much as people believe that they have home field advantage. I am very, very, very eager to see what everybody in the chat believes or who they believe honestly will win this game on Sunday night. Who do you have and why?
I got Minnesota, man. It's really because of the defense. I just think Detroit, as good as they are, man, one, I think their defense is too wounded. And it ain't just because of Jefferson, man. You got Addison over there. You got Nyler over there. You got Aaron Jones over there. They just as deadly as they are over there on the Detroit side. But I have to get an edge to the defense. For me, defense win championships. And I think right now Minnesota has the better defense. I think Dan Campbell is going to do something that's going to come back and bite him on one of them times. And it ain't going to turn out the way he think it's going to turn out. And so I get an edge to the Minnesota Vikings in this game.
And for that reason and that reason alone is the reason that I'm going with the Vikings, because these two teams mirror each other as pertains to the offensive effectiveness and firepower that they possess. So I don't give the edge to either one of the two offenses. The defense is where we have a slight separation, simply because of the injuries that the Detroit Lions have suffered, not because of their defense playing poorly. Aaron Glenn has done a phenomenal job with that defense this year, but you have had gut punch after gut punch after gut punch to key player being lost to that defense this year. And, you know, it's been mentioned in the chat that Jared Goff will possibly create a turnover or do throw an interception or a fumble sack.
Donna can do the same thing, though. I still give it to the defense.
True.
Donna is known for turnovers too. So
this
game right here with the implications of this game, that it could be a pressure. This could be a pressure moment for him.
Yeah, and as Troy has mentioned in weeks past, Dan Campbell's play calling and Dan Campbell's aggressiveness is going to eventually cost him a game. And like you just mentioned a couple of minutes ago, this is the game that Dan Campbell's play calling and aggressiveness going for it on a 4th down, whether it's short, medium, or 10+ yards on their side of the field, is going to cost them time of possession, is going to cost them a scoring opportunity, and it is going to cost them the game. I agree with you. The Minnesota Vikings not only steal this game, but they become the kings of the North for the regular season, and the road to the Super Bowl will go through Minneapolis. Nobody, and I do mean nobody, would have said that week 1 with Sam Darnold going into the season as the starter.